Argument against torsion fields. Argument against atheists. Torsion fields. Argument against atheists. Um, okay, so an atheist, is my definition, is that you don't believe that there's a soul. You believe that nothing exists in the higher dimension. The only thing that exists in the entire universe is what you see right here. Now, number one, just as an aside, that doesn't make any sense because there's all sorts of stuff that's always existed that we haven't been able to see until now, and that we've known existed, and then we didn't, and then we figured out a way to find out that they exist, and lo and behold, they exist. Like bacteria, don't, the Black Death. Don't go into that room and smell something, because you'll smell something and it'll get in your body and it'll make you sick. Well, now we invented microscopes and we found that something, and there you go, but we didn't see it, but yet it existed. I've never seen Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I know he exists. I've never seen Pluto, but I know that exists because somebody saw it, right? So, anyways, we know stuff exists, even though we've never seen it. We know those giant squid exist because we've seen the marks on the whale. So, anyways, torsion fields. So, this is proof, another proof that something else out there exists, higher dimension. Now this is even beyond electromagnetism. This is really interesting. Electromagnetism is another thing that we know exists that we haven't seen, and that we've probably always known. But electromagnetism is something that we understand that I don't really have a totally clear grasp of, but it's different waves of magnetic, metals and stuff. When they spin around, it creates magnetic waves, and you can talk on your phone based on different frequencies. It's just amazing how they do it, and I'd love to figure out exactly how it works. But anyways, there's something, but that doesn't really explain gravity. They haven't figured out gravity. Now I'd like to. There's something, and maybe what really does explain gravity is torsion fields. Now, torsion field is the higher dimensional energy that flows in and around through us, but it flows in and around through us. Well, number one, in a certain sacred geometrical patterns. And that's what helped create what's living in this world. But it also, not only does it influence this world, create this world, but what is in this world can influence the torsion field, can influence the flow, the river, the wind, the cosmic wind that flows around. Now we all know what cosmic wind is. If you look at the Earth has a whole halo around it that's about as big as Jupiter. It's huge, and it originates from the sun, and it goes out to the Earth, and then as the Earth spins around, it creates this big halo around it, which then is shaped like a bullet as it's getting pushed, blown like an invisible wind past the Earth out into space, and so this world here is influencing how that's shaped in the higher dimension, which that our machines can detect. Well, there's other things in this world that can shape stuff in other dimensions too, just by existing. Now, in one way you can describe gravity, and another way you can describe just how it can help energy flow, just basic life energy. Now, as far as the gravity part of it, if you spin a ball really, really fast, I think it's 88,000 times a second around, and you shoot it up in sky, it'll go a lot higher, and it'll fall a lot quicker than that same exact ball not spun at all. Now, according to contemporary science, now this is another example of how contemporary science doesn't understand the whole picture, even though they like to tell you that they do. They could not explain that. There's something else going on. Now, the idea is that it's spinning so fast that it's deflecting off the gravitrons that come and get sucked into it. The centrifugal force just pushes them away, so then it's not influenced by gravity, and that's how it can move up and down faster. And actually, that's how flying saucers work, by spinning a really heavy element called element 118 really, really, really fast around. I think in a fluid around a donut around the whole edges of the spaceship really fast so that it throws off all the gravitons and then can fly. But anyways, balls actually do that, and it's a test that they actually do. Now, but there's also, and you know, there's another thing they did. I only got like halfway through Richard Hoagland's new book. I should read more of it. But in the beginning of the chapters, they said there's they would like spin a bar around really, 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 really fast inside of a vacuum where there's no wind resistance at all, and then they'd stop the bar completely. And then they'd pump more juice into it to try to get it spinning again, and it would spin really fast. It would take not nearly as long to get up to speed to spin again, because that hyperdimensional energy was still swirling around it, helping it spin. You know how when you spin a cup with water around and around and around, and then say you'd have the little spinny thing inside of it, spinning around, and then you stop the wood, you stop the thing, and then you let go of it, and then it'll start spinning again because the water continued to spin. Well, there's a hyperdimensional fluid. Now it's called a torsion field that starts to spin around, kind of like when you spin an egg and then you stop the egg, not a hard-boiled egg, but like a normal raw egg, and then you let go of the egg, it'll start spinning again, kind of like that. Well, the idea is that things in this world, simple shapes, not even having to spin around, but just by existing in a certain form, can influence, can make this energy pass through it. Makes the energy go to it and pass through it, and that's what pyramids are. Now, perhaps that's even why viruses are shaped the way they are. Viruses are shaped spiky. They're little circles with spikes coming out all around. Now, the spikes are these little conduits of energy where the energy can come in and go out. Helps the energy come in so that they can communicate with each other and everything. It's kind of similar to why what an antenna is. You know, antennas are these things that stick out, these little tentacles that collect the energy. Well, basically pyramids are antennas. And that's why pyramids have healing qualities. You create a pyramid, and obviously the bigger the pyramid, the better. But you create a pyramid, and it makes this hyperdimensional energy, which you can't see, but we know exists from all the experiments. Comes to it from below the earth, because this energy can pass through the earth, because the earth is just hollow and empty to it, anyways. Comes to the pyramid, comes to the bottom of the pyramid, goes up the pyramid, and as it goes up the pyramid, it starts to swirl because the pyramid gets smaller and smaller and smaller, so it's getting confined to the edges of the pyramid, and of course it starts to spin, just like water spins as it goes down a faucet, a drain. So it spins and it spins and it spins, and then it hits the pyramid, and it shoots out the top of the pyramid like a laser. And so that's what the great ancient pyramid was. That's why the king's chamber is situated right in the middle of the pyramid. It's where the waves, as they spin around and come to it, it's where the waves come together and kind of change their angle and start to head up, straight up the pyramid. And it's a concentration of all of this torsion field energy that has been sucked from all directions from below the earth into the pyramid, and thus basically supercharging you with this hyperdimensional energy, and passing through your body, and you probably just zoom right through your pituitary gland, and boom, waking you up. And so anyways, that's why pyramids can, if you place pyramids in certain strategic places in the earth, because the earth is created in a certain lattice work of energy that we can't see. You put a pyramid, a really large pyramid, on a certain grid where these different lines come together. It will help aid all of the energy, which would be coming out of that area anyways. It helps focus it and go it through there and flow it out a lot easier, and flow out. It's kind of like pulling a stop out in a dam that's about to break. That you pull out the stops to let the water through so that the dam doesn't break. And they've done lots of scientific experiments with big pyramids where they can heal people. They put people in there. They put, food doesn't go rotten inside of them. I mean, I could go on and on and on forever about the experiments they've done with the pyramids, but that's basically explaining how it happens and what torsion fields are, and that's proof why an atheist should believe that there's something else out there that exists, and that's where we come from, and that's why the soul exists forever.